Narcissists control everyone they meet until they meet this one type of person. There is a pattern most people fail to recognize early when dealing with narcissistic behavior in relationships. At the beginning, they often appear extremely charming, confident, and emotionally magnetic in a way that feels almost undeniable. They carefully observe your emotional reactions, slowly learning what gains your attention and what earns your compliance over time. Without you realizing it, they begin shaping the emotional environment in subtle ways that gradually revolve around their needs and desires. Compliments start feeling strategic, attention becomes conditional, and emotional warmth begins depending on your level of agreement. Before you notice the shift, you are no longer acting freely, but instead responding to their emotional cues almost automatically. They reinforce compliance by rewarding agreement and withdrawing connection the moment you express independence or emotional resistance. This is how control is built in psychological terms, not through force, but through repeated emotional reinforcement and conditioning. Most people slowly adapt to this dynamic, trying harder to regain approval, connection, and emotional stability from the same person. That adaptation becomes the foundation of the narcissist's control system, where emotional dependence replaces natural self-expression over time. They rarely dominate through open aggression, but instead maintain influence through emotional unpredictability and subtle psychological leverage. However, there is one specific type of person who completely disrupts this entire control structure from the very beginning of interaction, not by arguing louder, not by exposing them, and not by trying to win psychological battles through direct confrontation or resistance, but by simply refusing to participate in the emotional game that the narcissist depends on to maintain influence and control. This person is emotionally anchored, meaning their sense of identity does not fluctuate based on external approval or emotional reactions. They do not require validation from others to feel stable, grounded, or secure in their own thoughts and emotional reality. And that internal stability is something that narcissistic control systems struggle to penetrate or destabilize effectively over time. Because control always requires emotional hooks, and this type of person does not offer those hooks for manipulation to attach to. When manipulation is met with calm neutrality instead of emotional reaction, it loses direction and gradually loses psychological effectiveness. When emotional pressure is met with silence or grounded responses, it loses its intended impact and begins to collapse internally. The narcissist slowly begins to experience something unfamiliar in these interactions, which is the absence of predictable emotional outcomes. Their usual patterns stop working because there is